Hello everyone. In this video we will study one of the most important units from MEG 4 aspects of language, that is the connection between linguistics, literary criticism and stylistics. We can also say that linguistics plus literary criticism is equal to stylistics. Now what is linguistics? Linguistics is the scientific study of language. Traditionally, we know that linguistics has four major branches: phonetics and phonology, which deals with speech sounds, pronunciation, sound patterns; morphology, which deals with word formation; syntax, which deals with sentence structure; and semantics, which studies meaning. But language is more than grammar. It is also a social tool that helps people communicate with each other. So to understand language completely, we should study how it is used in real life communication and how it is used in studying of literary texts as well. This leads us to the relationship between linguistics and literature. First, we will know how linguistics help literature. Now, literature is made up of language. A poem, a novel, a drama, everything is written in language. If we understand language properly, we can understand literature very well. To analyze a text, a literary critic talks about beauty, love, imagery, etc., while a linguist studies sentence structure, vocabulary, grammar, sound patterns, etc. If we combine both, that is, if a literary critic makes use of linguistic features, he can understand the text completely. Here we can bring the concept of langue and parole given by the famous Swiss linguist Ferdinand de Saussure. We can say langue refers to the linguistics and parole refers to the literature, that is actual use of language in real life situations. Language is used for communicating in a particular speech situation, and the language used has to be appropriate to that real life context. Literature recreates life and therefore reflects real life situations, but literary situations, however realistic, are ultimately the result of the imaginations of the writer and deviates from reality. When we take the example of Shakespeare's play Merchant of Venice, in that Shylock says a dialogue that is, "If you prick us, do we not bleed?" Here the line is true, but the character does not actually bleed. In a dramatic performance, the character does not die. He acts as if he has died. So literature is we can say that it's a make-believe situation when it comes to drama. Literature is considered to reflect life but also deviates from reality. The author, though adheres to conventions of speech, still has got freedom of expression. Like if you take the poem of Wilfred Owen, the lines say, "I am the enemy you killed, my friend." It is meaningless according to real life. Because enemy, friend, there is a contradiction. And the speaker already dead and not in a position to speak. How it is possible? But this line in Owen's poem is effective and meaningful because it brings the author's vivid imagination, which is away from reality. Now, why literature is different from reality? Because literary language is creative rather than literal. Since writers use metaphors, imagery, and other stylistic devices, readers cannot understand a literary work by looking only at its surface meaning. Linguistic analysis becomes necessary here. It helps literary critics explain how the writer's language creates meaning, emotion, and artistic effect. Here there is importance of linguistics in literary criticism. Earlier critics mostly gave personal opinions, like they would simply say, this poem is beautiful, but they often could not explain why. Linguistics changed this. Now critics could analyze word choice, sentence patterns, sounds, repetition style. This made literary criticism more objective. Many critics gave many views. Like G.N. Leach says, literature is the creative use of language. Linguistics helps explain how that creativity works. G.N. Leach also emphasized objectivity in literary criticism. T.S. Eliot criticized old criticism. He said many critics were emotional and subjective. They lacked objectivity. He said critics should explain why a literary work is effective by giving evidence from the language of the text. I.A. Richards introduced practical criticism. He encouraged close reading of texts. According to him, students should analyze the actual words, not depend only on the author's reputation. Now, another critic, that is William Empson, his famous book 7 Types of Ambiguity shows that one sentence can have many meanings. This became very important in stylistics. Donald Davy, he emphasized syntax. According to him, sentence structure plays a major role in poetry. Winifred Novotny, she believed that we should first study what is actually present in the poem, then interpret it. David Lodge, he gave two approaches, textual approach, that is analyze one passage deeply, and structural approach, that is study patterns across the whole novel. Now we reach to the most important topic, that is stylistics. Stylistics is scientific study of style in language. It explains how language creates beauty and meaning. Style is the way language is used in different situations. Different situations require different styles. For example, professional expression of weather forecast, which says scattered showers are expected. While in everyday language, the personal expression of weather forecast, which says it is a lovely day, or it's a bit chilly. Both talk about weather, but the style is different because the purpose and the audience are different. If we talk about style in literature, every writer has a unique style of writing, that is choice of words, vocabulary, expressions, etc. For example, Charles Dickens has his own style. Shakespeare has his own way of expressing things. Like Virginia Woolf has her own style. Geoffrey Leach here says style is relational, like it depends on the writer, time period, genre, purpose of writing. However, the author may not always write in the same style. The writer can use formal style in essays, simple style in stories. So writer's style changes according to the purpose of his writing. Like stylistics combines linguistics and literary criticism. It helps us understand both the language and the meaning of the literary texts. The aim of the literary stylistics is to relate critics' concern about aesthetic expression or appreciation and the linguistics concern regarding linguistic description, that is subjective and objective. So there's always a question, that is at which end to start the literary criticism. Should it start at the subjective level or at the objective level? We have already discussed that many critics mention the need for bringing in greater objectivity in analyzing texts. For this, Spitzer gave a circular relationship between linguistics and literary criticism, each stimulating the other in a circular way. That is, observing the language first, understanding the literary meaning, go back to the language for deeper meaning, get a better understanding of the text. This process continues until the meaning becomes clear. So here we can conclude that stylistics bridges the gap between linguistics and literary criticism and combines both subjectivity and objectivity in analyzing texts. Hope you understood this explanation. Next, we will explore the concept of style and discuss two important approaches to it, that is dualism and monism. So thank you for watching this video and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.